So just before you get to watch this video, I'm just a little note to say that technology is supposed to be our friend, but today technology was not my friend. I seem to have lost the recording of the last couple of minutes of my video. So what I've had to do is I've had to change it up a little bit. I've had to do it handheld like I'm doing now. So if you notice, you probably will notice it's not all that subtle. When the change happens, you'll know it, and now you know the reason why. So anyway, enjoy this episode of Geek Out and Speak Out. Hello there, welcome to another episode of Geek Out and Speak Out. My name is Geeks, and here we are again for another episode, another recording. Now the movie that we're going to be talking about today is the very first Deadpool movie, and the reason why I talk about this movie is because Deadpool is on my mind at the moment as a huge comic book fan and a Marvel fan and a movie fan. Deadpool 3 is one movie that's sitting on my radar. I can't wait to see that. I think it's going to be epic. I think it's going to be hilarious, and I think it's going to be awesome. So to kind of celebrate my thoughts on Deadpool 3, I thought, well, why not revisit the first Deadpool movie? So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I watched this movie again fairly recently. I've seen it easily about 25 times, but I watched it again fairly recently in anticipation for this making this video. And my God, this film is so funny. Even now, I've seen it so many times, heard the jokes time and time again, but Deadpool never fails to make me laugh. Particularly the first movie. We won't talk about the second one just yet. Maybe I'll do that on another video. But this movie is still so funny. When they first announced Deadpool, I wasn't particularly excited because I didn't really know much about the character. I knew a little bit about Wade Wilson, but I didn't really know much. I'd seen the short video that they did, the screen test of Ryan Reynolds when he first did the voice of Deadpool, and I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. And then when they campaigned to make the movie, and then the movie got made, and I saw the trailer and I thought this actually looks quite good, so I thought I'd give it a try. And I was not prepared for just the thrill ride that I went on. A superhero movie. Not only a superhero movie, but a love story, because anyone who's seen the Deadpool movie knows it's a love story above all else. But it was bad language, violence, just sick jokes, and that is right up my alley. 3 things I absolutely love: sick jokes, violence, and bad language. None of which you'll see on these videos, of course, but those are things that I like. And obviously Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, no one else could do that character justice than Ryan Reynolds. He owned it. He is Deadpool. He is Wade Wilson. And watching his performance as Wade Wilson, you can see there's a lot of Ryan Reynolds in there. He certainly makes that character his own, and no one else can touch him in that performance at all. And one of the things that really struck me because I was really paying attention while I was watching this film, because it's one of those films I can just sit back and relax watching, because I know it inside out. But I really paid attention to it this time, and one of the things that really struck me this time round is just the amount of jokes per minute in that film. I mean, there's a couple of serious moments which you can't just be joke the whole movie, but the ratio of jokes per minute in that film is unreal, and it's just a testament to the writers, to the director Tim Miller, to Ryan Reynolds, because I know there was a lot of collaboration between all of them making this film, but it was just joke after joke after joke. Not all jokes hit, belly laughing, ha ha ha, but a lot of them did, and even now, like I said, I've said a couple of times now, it is still funny even now in 2024. And another thing that struck me in this film is that there isn't actually an enormous amount of action in it. If you really break it down, there's the action sequence on the highway, which opens it, but that's split up by flashbacks through most of the movie. You've got that, it would be counted as one. You've got the sequences where Wade Wilson is creating his suit, going from the white to the red. The muffling of his voice, wearing the mask, and all that experimentation to get this suit right. And then the end. Unless I'm remembering it wrong, there's only three action sequences through the whole film, and for a superhero film, well, it wasn't, compared to Marvel movies, because this isn't a Marvel movie. Let's not get into the Sony, Disney, Marvel whole mess that between the studios, but compared to other superhero movies, superheroes at the time was almost at its peak of popularity. But Deadpool was a relatively low budget superhero film, so they didn't have the budget to have enormous, extreme, Avengers type set pieces. But the sheer entertainment value of Ryan Reynolds on screen with his supporting cast and everything, it feels like a bigger film than it actually is, which is a testament to just how well the film was made. If I was to say anything negative about Deadpool, which I don't like to dwell on negative stuff, but for the sake of balance, you'd think probably the only thing that lets the film down is just the villain, Francis, Ajax, and his sidekick Angel. They're not the best villains. The film takes a bit of a slump every time they're on screen, I'm sorry to say. People knew Ryan Reynolds before Deadpool, but that's all I wanted to see. That's all I wanted to see was Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. And every time he wasn't on screen, every time he wasn't wisecracking, whenever they did spend a bit of time with Francis or Ajax and Angel, the movie took a bit of a slump. Because Deadpool has such an energy and such a vibrancy, and you never really knew what was going to come out of his mouth. Most of it would be vulgar, sarcastic, and probably offensive. But that's what people wanted to see. It's what I wanted to see. So the film did take a bit of a slump every time I spent a bit of time with the villains, and the story was practically non-existent. But we don't watch Deadpool for its story. That's probably the only thing that really lets the film down. Another maybe slightly negative thing is some of the CGI is a little bit dicey, but again, it's a relatively low budget movie at the time, and but I think they did wonders. They had a full CGI character in it by Colossus, who is absolutely fantastic. I love Colossus, and I hope they managed to bring him into the third one. They had a fully CGI character, which, again, the CGI looks a little bit ropey now, but it's suspension of disbelief. It's a superhero film. You're not supposed to take these films very seriously anyway, so why would you pick apart these kind of things? But just for the sake of balance, say a lot of good things, like, just to say a couple of not so good. I'd like to talk more about the jokes, but some of I'd say 99.9% of the jokes I cannot say on this video anyway, because this is for all viewers. But it's an adult film with adult jokes, and plus to try and recite any of the jokes just wouldn't do them justice anyway, because I ain't a comedian, I ain't a funny guy, but only Ryan Reynolds could pull off the Deadpool lines. Cracking one-liners, another good thing to say about the film, it's got a great soundtrack, great music to it, toe tappers. So it's got, as I said before, it's got a really good soundtrack. A couple of negative things: villains not so great, stories not so great, but everything else is above and beyond any expectations I ever had. So what I will say for this film, just for the sake of the poor villain and not so great story, I would give it a good 9 out of 10. Again, another 9 out of 10. He says, adjusting his hat. It's got some fine acting points. It's got some great comedy, great action. All the things I've said before. But it's just that pesky villain. If they had a better villain, one that you could, it's just very vanilla for me. Too vanilla. So 9 out of 10 for me. That'll do, I think. It's still a pretty damn good score, if you ask me. So anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Geek Out and Speak Out. I hope the change of this screen hasn't been too jarring. You know, I've had to just quickly run and just put this quickly together while I'm editing. So the episode will drop soon. But thank you for watching, and thank you for putting up for this with this very brief and slightly annoying change. But I shall see you soon for my next episode. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.